subscribe, like, do what you want, really. And we are back. Mister Sho here with the Final Four in the Great 8 tournament to crown the greatest roleplay wrestling belt ever made. Our semi-finalists scored big with their likeness to the real belt, build quality of the toy, and overall feels. Now we add to that total the history of the belt, its significance and impact scored out of 10, with the more important title heading into the final. On this episode, it's semi-final number 1, the WWF Titan Sports Series from 1988, taking on the Manley Toy Quest WCW Big Gold from 1998. The WWF Hogan 86 belt, toy-fied in 1988 and sold well after the Winged Eagle was around, was one of 4 belts we could call a Hogan World Title exclusive. Hogan became WWF champion for the first time in January 1984, defeating the Iron Sheik for his big green WWF championship with its many, many gold plates. Hogan remained champion for just over 4 years, introducing the Hogan 84, Hogan 85, and very briefly the Hogan Portrait belt during that time. In October 1985, Hogan debuted the belt before you, although the toy differs vastly in colour and some elements of design, which became known as the Hogan 86 despite the year of its origin. During the Hogan 86's existence, Hogan successfully downed the likes of Big John Studd, King Kong Bundy, Jesse Ventura, Roddy Piper, Randy Savage, Brutus Beefcake, Terry Funk, Adrian Adonis, Moondog Spot, Don Morocco, the Iron Sheik, again, Paul Orndorff, Harley Race, Killer Khan, One Man Gang, Kamala, Hercules, Jake Roberts, and even suffered losses to the like of Terry Funk and Ted DiBiase by countout. Plus, we always forget Hogan's numerous stints in Japan where he actually did wrestle. Say what you want, but Hogan was busy. But were any of these matches and feuds classics? Nah. Whilst the Hogan 86 era of the WWF Championship represents almost 2.5 years of its lineage, it's Hogan's WWF Winged Eagle, WCW World and WWE Undisputed reigns that bring better quality. For that reason, the WWF Titan Sports Series Hogan 86 from 1988 belt scores just 5 out of 10, plus it's 18 out of 30 from the quarters, giving it a semi-final total score of 23 out of 40. The 1998 Manley Toy Quest WCW Big Gold has its real-world origins back in 1986, when it was introduced to replace the NWA's £10 of gold by Jim Crockett Promotions. Ric Flair was the first to hold it, with the Jim Crockett and NWA title lineage running concurrently into the WCW days, although confusingly they were split at times. See Tatsumi Fujinami in 1991. Under the Jim Crockett banner, Dusty Rhodes and Ronnie Garvin both held the NWA Big Gold, but Ric Flair was the first pure WCW Big Gold champion in 1991, although it was at that time the NWA Big Gold belt that was used. And from that stemmed a long line of WCW World Heavyweight champions right up to Booker T at WCW's close in 2001. As a side note, things get even murkier back in 1993, with WCW officially leaving the NWA. The creation then of the WCW International World Heavyweight Championship, what does that even mean? And its unification with the WCW World Heavyweight Championship in 1994. Your winner? Confusion? No. Ric Flair again. Other WCW Big Gold holders included Lex Luger, Vader, Ron Simmons, Sting, Hulk Hogan, The Giant, Randy Savage, Goldberg, Kevin Nash, DDP, Bret Hart, Chris Benoit, sort of, Sid Vicious, Jeff Jarrett, David Arquette, yes, that David Arquette, wrestling writer Vince Russo, and Scott Steiner. Do we count WWF reigns after purchasing WCW? Nah. Are we recognising the 2002 WWE World Heavyweight Championship as a continuation of the WCW title? Nah. So what of the WCW Big Gold's best matches? Lots to choose from. Sting Vader, Flair Steamboat in 94, Flair Vader, DDP Sting Hogan Flair, Hart Benoit, I think we know which way this is going. The Manley Toy Quest WCW Big Gold represents a huge chunk of somewhat complicated wrestling history, bagging 9 out of 10 points and giving it a grand semi-final total of 29 out of 40 and the win. And that is all. Join me, Mr. Sho, next time as we find out whether it's TNA or AEW joining WCW in the Great 8 tournament final. Until then, this is Mr. Sho saying take care. Ta-ra now.